All right, guys. Once you log into NetSuite, you should see a layout that looks very similar to this. Mine is slightly different in that I do have access to all of your guys' opportunities and basically all the data, whereas you will only have access to yours. So if you are seeing an additional box above this, it might say something like a NetSuite kind of ad, I'd call it. The easy way to get rid of any of these boxes is to kind of, if you come over to the corner, you'll see these 3 vertical dots. If you hover over those, you can simply remove that one that looks like an ad so that you come straight to seeing the 3 dashboards I think are most helpful for you guys. The first one being my open opportunities, then your open estimates, and any of the open leads you have. So from here, we can go straight into the creation of a lead. So just like in our previous system, you're going to start everything through a lead, and then we'll take it from there, from a lead through to an opportunity, and then eventually into the creation of an estimate. The easiest way to do that again is by clicking this quick add new document icon. It looks kind of like a piece of paper with a plus sign. So if we do that and we come straight into lead, what we're going to be doing is going through this, and the only things you guys need to be concerned with are the areas that have the asterisk, right? So if you are seeing that asterisk is a mandatory field, and so anything that doesn't have an asterisk, like these here, don't fill any of these here out, because these actually will eventually be tied to the BHOS system, which is where if this lead eventually becomes a customer, this is where the data will be populated for BHOS, and BHOS is the system that allows us to keep all of our special pricing and that sort of thing. So you guys will only ever be creating parent companies, and as you see here, we're requesting that all parent companies are created with all caps, and then the ship to addresses, which you guys will not be responsible for the creation of, will have the proper case in the font. So I'm going to name mine okay. So you'll notice, because I am going to be creating a parent account, that I have all caps. So I'm going to continue on through everything that has the asterisk. It's going to stay in this lead unqualified. You will not have to change that status, because as you progress things through the system, from the creation of a lead into an opportunity, that status will automatically change for you. Your category, you guys will go through here and kind of, this is the industry. So I'm going to say that, why not? This is a food grade company. And my customer type, as I said, every time you guys create one, you guys are going to be creating a parent. My source, where did I get this from? Most of the time, I imagine your guys will be self-generated. And then, as you see, there's nothing else here that technically has any asterisks, so I'm going to continue on, and you'll see that here there is a okay, I'm going to put that data in there. If you have any of this information, it's also obviously helpful to put it, but it's not required. And if you don't have anyone, if you don't know a contact, you can simply write in here unknown, and then you can edit that later as things progress. So once I've entered that data in, I can come through and add any of this if I have it. All right, so I'm going to click add. And then under this address tab, if you have their address, by all means, enter it. You'll notice that it is required. So if you click here on this little button, that little pencil button to edit it, it gives you this data. So long as you have city and state, we should be good to go. So I'm going to say this is Arizona. You can put in here, whichever area you'd like. I'm going to just say that, and I'm going to hit enter. And after I've hit enter, I still have to hit add. Now I've gone through and I've gone and put in all the data that's required that has those asterisks, and you are good to go. So now all you have to hit is save. and you have now created a lead. So this lead will stay in the system until you have decided that it is a qualified lead, and all you really have to do to qualify a lead is to create an opportunity, because once we're in that qualify stage again, guys, we're going straight into an opportunity. The way that you create an opportunity from this lead and switch it from a lead into a qualified prospect is simply by, again, you're going to use this little icon from within the lead. As you hit that, you hover over it. You don't need to click on anything here. You'll see that it says opportunity. And what that's doing is it's actually automatically linking that lead to this particular opportunity. Not only did it link it, it also changed it from an unqualified lead into a prospect, which means that we're in the process of eventually we're going to quote them and all that sort of thing and see if we can get them to be our customer, right? So again, what I encourage you guys to do is everything in here, the things that are required for you to complete have an asterisk. So go ahead and start entering in all your data, your opportunity stage, right? We have our 5 stages basically. I don't know why that's out of order, but it is. It doesn't super matter. So I'm going to say that mine is in stage 3. I'm going to be in presentation. This probability automatically populates. If you prefer it to be something else, I mean, sure, go ahead and change it. But at the end of the day, that's not super important. It's just something that we're kind of required to have as a field. You are going to want to change your expected close date because it is going to automatically populate to today's date. So I would say something like, you guys will know better than me what's realistic for your expected close dates. I would very much encourage you guys to stop doing things like putting it to the end of next month. If the reality is your historical data says that it typically takes you 3 to 4 months to close an opportunity, then let's make sure that our expected close date is as accurate as possible. I'd rather have that than have you guys constantly updating your expected close date. So I'm just going to pick a date in the future and the opportunity type. Again, we have 3. We just created a lead and then switched that into an opportunity. So obviously this is going to be new. You would use share of wallet in situations where you have an existing customer and you're going to gain a new part of their business. So let's say we've only ever sold them fuel and now you have the opportunity for lubricants. Perfect. Then that's the share of wallet. The retain function would be in a situation where either it might be, let's say, a government entity and they're going up for bid again, or it might even be a situation in which, one of our competition is there at one of your current customers, and you are now going to have to put in extra effort to make sure you retain that customer. We certainly want to be able to see where your guys' efforts are being put on a regular basis. So make sure to have an opportunity in there for that. So on this one, I'm going to put new. In this details section, I'd encourage you guys to put your date in here, for instance. What you really want to put in this details section, guys, is what's your next step? Because if you no longer have a next step and you don't know where you're going with an opportunity, is it really an opportunity? We don't want things just hanging out for the sake of hanging out. You should have some sort of idea as to when you're going to either touch back with this customer or any details that you need to get with the customer in order to kind of move this opportunity forward. So that's where you'd put this information. All right. And again, best guess on your projected GP. Both projected GP and projected volume are going to be annually. So go ahead and put whatever you think is appropriate. If I'm anticipating on this, let's say I'm going to sell this guy some lubes, maybe 2,000 gallons a year. I don't know. I might expect about 4,000 in GP from this one customer. Here, you're going to want to click your department. You'll notice the one main thing here, everything's pretty self-explanatory. The one thing that is not is you're probably wondering where lubricants are. Commercial non-fuel is what we are going to be calling lubricants in this NetSuite system. So since this is going to be lubricants, I'm going to click commercial non-fuel. Again, we're kind of just going through everything that has a required asterisk. If you are doing fuel though, one nice feature to add here is this product type, because this is the only area in which we are able to distinguish between gasoline and diesel. Otherwise, it's just fuel. So here I could do whatever, I can do gas, diesel, I can even pick lubricant, I can pick DEF. So if you can, please put this in. It is not a required field, as you'll notice, but it is helpful. Again, when you come here into this product category, if you have chosen fuel, commercial fuel as your department, you'll notice there is not a fuel field in here, but instead you would pick other. But since I do have lubricants, let me get a little more specific. Let's say this is PCMO and my brand. You go ahead and pick whichever brand it is that you're looking for. Let's say I'm going to do P66 and whichever whoever your competitor is. We have pretty much everyone in here, so I don't imagine you guys will have a hard time finding who you need. If you do, for whatever reason, have a hard time finding it, let me know and I'll make sure to add that for you. The other option that is a brand new feature for us is if at some point you're going to need a piece of loaned equipment, please make sure to go ahead and click that option. And this just kind of gives your director of sale a heads up that at some point you guys are going to be submitting an ROI for this particular opportunity. So it'll be nice if they can come into this opportunity, see all this data, as well as get all the details as to where you are in that process. So now we've gone through all of the sections that are required. So all you simply have to do is come on through here, and you'll note that you guys can't see it, or I can't see it that well, but right here is save. It also has a save button up here. It doesn't really matter which one you click, so I'm just going to hit save. And now we have put our opportunity in the correct sales stage. So I imagine once you guys create it, you guys probably won't touch it for a while. So let's come back to your home page. So like I said, you guys are going to have data that looks like this. So your dashboard, you guys will come through and you can pick either your name or mine, right? You guys will have the option that says either mine, and then right below it, it'll have your name in here somewhere. You can pick whichever one you want. I'm going to click mine. I happen to only have one. What you will notice is eventually you guys are going to start seeing these exclamation points on the side. That means that your expected close date is now in the past, which means you absolutely need to update it. When the time comes for you to start progressing your opportunities through the pipeline, it is as simple as coming and you can hover over here and you can click directly on this pencil, and it's going to take you directly into editing your particular opportunity. Another thing to note is right below where it says sales rep, you're going to have a total. Mine happens to say 1, but several of you guys are going to have 30 or 40 or whatever the number is. If you'd like to see them all in one page, I'm going to click on somebody's because I know why not. Let's do Joe's. For instance, so Joe says that he has 72. Obviously, the default on this screen is to only show you 10. So if you're only seeing 10 and you would like to see them all on one screen, it's simply a matter of clicking on this total, and you're going to go to a secondary screen, and all of a sudden you can see everything in one shot, right? I'm going to go back, and again, we're back here at the home page. The other thing I want you guys to see is you guys have the option of filtering your data on this screen however you see fit. I don't really care how you do it. I think I defaulted it to have it by the expected close date, but my preference personally is to sort all my stuff by the opportunity stage. So if you click through here, it's going to, it has all my qualifies. Opportunities that are in the qualify stage. If I click again, it's going to go reverse, right? It has all my 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s. You'll see that it's only showing 10 per page. So remember, you can either do this drop down and see the next 10, or you can also click through here and see the next 10, the next 10. So that is how you're going to utilize these dashboards. They all work the same. So this one is showing me all 9. I think the default on this one is to only show you 8. So we have a next page. Happens to be there. I'm going to come back up to mine so we can go back into my particular opportunity. So when the time comes for you to go from presentation, let's say, into activate and transition, simply click that edit icon. And to get it through that next stage, it might be in activate and transition, which means you have everything and we're ready to go. Customers approved for credit. We're literally only waiting to make that first delivery. That's what activate and transition means. When you have closed something as won, it's stage number 5, and stage number 6 when you have closed it as lost, right? So I'm going to say this is activate and transition, and I can hit save. Okay, so if I am now ready to come back into this opportunity and I want to create an estimate or a quote for this particular opportunity, it's simply a matter of coming into this opportunity. You do not have to be in that edit function. You can simply be at view, but it doesn't really matter which view you're in. If you hover over this little icon here, you have the option down here to have an estimate. And ideally that's where you do it because it's going to link this particular opportunity to this estimate. So you're going to hover over, come to estimate, and then we're just going to wait a little bit. Okay, all the data that you guys are seeing within this system has already been pre-populated for you. Keep in mind that this expected close date here, it actually grabs this expected close date from your opportunity. So if you had this expected close date to be 7/12/2021, then that's what you would see here. You are absolutely, by all means, you change it if you'd like. It doesn't really matter to me, but and it does default your expiration date for your estimate to, I think they do, what is it? 29 days out is what they typically do. So you can change that there if you'd like. But I guess I'm just telling you all this because you basically don't need to do anything in this area until you come down to here to add actual products that you'd like to quote out to your customer. You can absolutely start typing in here if you know the name of the product. This system uses the percentage sign as a wildcard. So if you don't know exactly what the product's called, because we no longer have item or product numbers, so you're going to have to know exactly what we've called it. And I know that's going to be pretty difficult. So I'd encourage you guys to use that percentage sign. If you only have one, by all means, start typing your data in here. I tend to like to use this function to add multiple. And my preference for that is simply because it gives me a bigger screen so that I can make sure I'm looking at everything I need to look at. So again, even I am going to use this percentage sign, and you're going to start typing in the name of the product that you're looking for. So how about that? Let's see if I come up with anything. Of course it didn't. I'm looking for my Gardel ECT. So, and I did that because I'm horrible and I always spell Gardel wrong for whatever reason. But here you're going to see, right, we have the Gardel ECT. This happens to be the 1030, and this is a case. So it's 12 one-quart jugs. Let's say I wanted to sell them that, or even the 3 ones on that 1030. So I can say I want to sell them 2 of those. And let's say I want to get some grease. There we go. So if you don't know the name for it, you can type in a whole lot of different things. I could have done some 80/90. I could have done a whole bunch of things, right? You guys are going to pick whatever you think is appropriate. Let's say, sure, why not? A pail of SRI. And maybe I want to sell them 1, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Once I have those in there with the quantities, I hit done, and it takes just a wee bit, and it's going to populate your data here. Here's where you guys are going to get with your director of sale. And at this point, you guys are going to figure out what you want to charge the customer. Please remember that this rate section here, What you guys are actually charging for is not the dollar per gallon like we're used to in our historic systems, but you're actually charging for that whole case. So I don't know, let's say we're going to charge them $57.12 for one case. Sure, so that's what I'm saying that I'd like to charge them, and I'm going to hit OK. And then on this grease here, this pail, here you guys will see this is our actual cost the last time we purchased a product. So if I'm putting 57, maybe, I don't know, maybe I know that there's going to be a rebate for it. I don't know, right? But I'm just giving you guys some examples. Let's say this pail, I want to sell it for 150 bucks. And I'm going to hit OK. So you'll notice that even though I have a rate here of 57.12, I have 2 units, so it takes the rate multiplied by that factor right there, and that amount is what's going to show up on the customer's estimate. So once you're done doing that, you should be good to go. One thing, and this is something we're still working on, but in the meantime, I know several of you guys need the ability to have write-in items, so items that we have not necessarily brought into inventory, but you certainly want to put on your estimate because a special item we're going to need to bring in or whatever that is. What I would recommend you guys doing in that case is pick something that's close to it, and I know that this is not the proper way to do it, but this is how we're going to do it for now. Let's say it was, we're going to bring in some sort of motor oil or something we've never had in stock before. So I'm going to put my asterisk. So I'm going to do some Fuchs product. And I'm sure I should have added an S, but it's fine. Okay, let's say these are all some greases. Let me come down here. Let's see if I can get any. Why not? Let's say that it's something like a drum of product. This is what I would encourage you guys to do, is pick something that's similar and in the same package quantity. Let's say, why not this one? We know we want to bring in a pail. Yes, it is not this particular product that the customer wants, but it's something similar. So we're going to do quantity 1, and I'm going to hit done. And in this description section, you have the ability right now to come through and make an edit. So let's say that it's a Fuchs product, and yes, it's not this, but it's something else. And it's a 35-pound pail, and I'm going to hit OK. Before I hit OK, I'm actually going to put in here my rate. What do I want to charge them for that product? So you've already gotten with your director, you know what our cost is and what you want to charge them. I don't know. I'm going to say that we're going to charge this guy $300 per pail, and I'm going to say OK. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit save and print. Your default is going to be save because I tend to choose save and print. It kind of defaults that to you for whichever option you generally use. So I'm going to have save and print. Okay, so this is now what the customer is going to see. It says estimate. Hopefully we'll get a better quality logo here, but it is what it is for now. But this is what the customer is going to see, right? They're going to see that the rate, and this is per product, so we're going to see that it's 57 and some change for this 1030, and total cost is going to be 114.24, and just the same, right? You're going to see all this data and down there at the end. So this is a basic estimate of what the customer is going to end up receiving from you guys. So at that point, from here, you guys do whatever you're going to do. You can print it to a PDF or whatever and save it on your computer and email it out. Whatever you want to do from here with this is so go ahead and do what, I guess, however it is you guys like to send your estimates out. I'm going to hit cancel because I don't actually want to do that. And from there, you're just waiting to either close this opportunity out as one, at which point this will, this transaction here will end up closing itself out as either closes won or closes lost based on what you end up doing at your opportunity level. So if I come back to my home page, I'll go ahead and you'll see that I do indeed, I have a total of 9, with the last one being, oh, sorry. This is another feature that I did forget to tell you guys. If you're not seeing information that you guys just kind of completed and you're like, where the heck is it? I know I just created that estimate for this test company. Just keep in mind that these dashboards here, they actually only refresh themselves about it. I think it's every 30 minutes, 32 minutes, something funky like that. So if you're not seeing it, if you actually click this refresh button, it'll bring it to the surface. So now if I go to page 2, of course I can't see it. Where the heck did it go? There we go. This is my test. So I can come back in here, I can edit it, so I can go straight into editing. If I want to adjust my pricing or add new products, anything like that, again, I can come back in here and add multiple products, or I can come in here and simply remove or delete that. And then you're good to go. Save and print it again. Give that revised version back to your customer and you are good to go. So again, it's revising it. Perfect. So it saved it and closed it, and now I'm done with that. So hopefully that'll get you guys through most of what you need to do. So anything else, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help.